So you can see it's a little bit dark outside. and but it's all right. We need rain, I guess. Not that kind of rain, but hey, cool rain. Typical of North Texas. Cold weather. It comes with rain and a drizzle, well, the worst kind. But anyway, um, who said nature has to give us what we want, right? Um, Real quick, I was making, I was going through some conversation by text with someone, and something just came out of the blue. Although I thought about these things for a long time, but it's just now I put them in words. Um, and is the fact, of course, how the has to do with fleeting this life is. Really, I mean, look at what happened to this guy. So, not a fan of his, but anyway, was very famous, I guess. Um, at least used to be one of the main characters in that series, The Friends, which I never liked anyway. But I mean, the series. And I've seen it in a couple of movies too, one or two, one probably. It was kind of funny and everything, but anyway, he died. 54 years old, was it? Something like that. 3 years younger than me, or two and a half. Anyway, the bottom line is that, you know, obviously this goes along with the topic that, as you already know, I'm very fond of, which is the one that St. Francis calls Sister Death. No one can escape her, that he wrote in one of his thoughts. Um, and, um, and it's true. No one can escape her. You can run all you want, which is, if you think about it, that's what most of us, that's what we do. You see all those people trying to make it rich, uh, you know, hit it, reach somewhere. I mean, walking down and up and down and doing this, doing that. But for the most part, all of this is just for wealth. Let's face it. I mean, of course, I mean, we might be motivated by other things. I'm not saying that, but wealth is always the primary motivating factors, at least for 99.99% of people out there. So anyway, I mean, we all do all these things, and of course, not just the money, but possessions, the goodies, the toys, the money can buy, right? Um, and You know, it's just that um, too much hassle, blah blah blah, running up, down, left, right, from one way to the other, back and forth, back and forth. And we're always moving, always, always, always. A lot of noise also associated with that. I see it everywhere. I've always seen it since I have memory, anyway. And basically, just by every human activity, it revolves around that. And yet, there's not a single human being in this world, unless, of course, you have a mental incapacity, which it could be. But there's not a single human being that's not aware that it's going to be over. Just like these glasses. They're almost over, but hey, I want to stretch it as long as I can. Maceta Jimenez. ¿Cuánto? Anyway. No, I mean, hey, look, I was sick and tired of this. I gotta every month I had to buy. I know it's $1.50. It's cheap. Obviously, you get what you pay for, but that's the reason. But at least I want them to stretch out for at least 3 or 4 6 months. Anyway, hey, ka-ching! Talking about, there you go. See, we all do it. Everything we do, for the most part, goes around, the big mullah, the Benjamins, and so on and so forth. Anyway, like I said before, nothing wrong with that. I mean, we need the currencies to be able to purchase stuff in order to be able to, enjoy life. It's just that when we take it to the extreme, and that's the problem. It's just like there's only one thing that you can take it to the extreme, and it's never enough. It's only one thing, and that's love of God, which is a real love. That's forever, and it's infinite because His love for us is infinite. So why should we stop? We should correspond to that love. So if His love for us is infinite, where do we stop? Nowhere. Infinite means never ends. Keeps going up and up and up. Other than that, I mean, money. Even people that all these multi-billionaires, no, well, it's not. There's a multi-trillionaire, but multi-billionaires out there and all that. And at some point, they couldn't care less about the money itself by itself, but the stuff. They don't need anything else. They got everything they want. At least all this thing. So they think. But anything materially that they don't need any materially speaking. Um, talk to them. Hey, I know that you don't need that. Hey, to you, that's like nothing. So, can you spare $10,000? To me, $10,000 will actually solve probably 90% of my troubles right now. But to them, $10,000. There you go. I sweat a drop. There you go. $10,000. But anyway, I mean, of course, they don't know me. How are they gonna give me that money if I don't ask, right? But I'm not gonna ask them. But they're not gonna do it anyway. And see, that's the point. These folks, uh, it's like crazy because I mean, at the same time, like I said to them, psh, no big deal. They already have everything. But at the same time, on the other hand, they do not want to let go, and not even a penny. you know, that's called greed. It happens to most of us. I mean, it's just the way it is. Let's face it. But anyway, talking about Masita Jimenez. Yeah. But that's that's the way it is. But yeah, it reached to a point where money to them is no longer about material things, but it's about power and influence, which is what these folks are doing. Most of them are evil people, by the way. I'm not saying all of them, but most of them. The Bill Gates, the Soros, pure evil people. So to them, money they use money to dominate the world. It's like the what do you call it? That's that movie. Anyway, Mini Me. No, Mini Me was the little guy, or the other guy. Austin Powers. No, the enemy, the arch enemy of Austin Powers turns out to be a brother. But what am I doing? It's just a freaking movie. Anyway, I was digressing. Wait for me, Satan. Satan wants me to digress. Anyway, so I lose track of what I'm going to say, but I'm not going to lose track because I was thinking that conversation I was having about text, something that came up, has to do with this, with the fleeting, with all of this, So anyway, I mean, every time that we feel tempted to do the same, and we all do, admit it. Yeah, I know that there are very rare exceptions, and even them would admit that's only the grace of God who makes me ignore all those things. But I mean, we all care about money in one way or another. Some for good reason, others just want more and more. Unfortunately, that's most of us. I mean, we want more and more and more. But even then, like I said, there's always a limit. I mean, how much more do you want? Like I said, the only thing that is um, good to want more and more and more and more is the love of God. That's it. Never tired of that one because that's infinite. Money, the sooner you get tired of it, the better off you're gonna be. Believe me. I mean, it's the way it is. Of course, you need to pay the basic stuff. Rent, food. basic stuff, clothing. But other than that, I mean, once you get all of that, satisfy all of that, nice home, perhaps a nice means of transportation if you can afford it, but everything else is extra. So just start right there before from the get go, right there. Start just giving it away or whatever. You know, what's the point? So it's like, and I used to be one of those because I mean that was part of my former life profession. I mean, well, I didn't go that far on that one, obviously. But I mean, no, I mean, I couldn't care less now because that was the focus. It was on money. It's a financial planner and that type of thing. And I know about. I received training to know what it's that about. I mean, it's focus is mainly on retirement, and then basically the slogan or the which is true. I mean, if all you care is about material things, so absolutely, say yeah, you don't want to outlive your money, blah 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 blah, right? All of that. And most of and a lot of it is also they overdo it, so in order to make a sale, it is what it is. But going back to this, I mean, basically, it's uh, you need to have a nesting egg, and then and do these and do that, blah 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 blah. Save, 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 save. Most people that have a nice career, that's what they do, right? And they pile up hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions. For the most part, they end their retirement with millions, right? Most people they have a nice career if they did it right way, materially speaking. Anyway, financially, materially speaking, they will retire millionaires. That's not my case, by the way. I'm saying it out there. I used to actually teach people how to do that. I could never afford to do it myself. It takes money to make money. And then I went someone other route, which I regret, but at the same time, I don't regret at the same time because I could have cared less about that. And that's my point here. I mean, so anyway, I was going through that, and I say, look, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I was, save for the long run, long run, long run, long run. We're all dead. That's the truth. But of course, I mean, if you're a financial planner, a professional in the financial services industry, that's the last thing you're going to want to think. Well, not necessarily, because that's part of it too. What are you going to leave for inheritance? That's part of the formula of financial planning, financial planning, especially for the families and stuff, for the individuals. So what is going to happen? How much are you going to leave your family? But then, of course, it's the nature of that profession. You don't have to go about what happened beyond that. Well, now in the profession, so to speak, that I am right now, the mission that the Lord gave me, I mean, that is my focus. Now, it's just like twisted. I mean, it just switched the whole thing, 180 degrees. Now, the nest egg and all of that, the financial assets and all that, I couldn't care less. Not that it matters. I don't have any. But at the same time, I was just really not interested. Um, and then, of course, I made it be nice, so you don't have to depend on anything or nobody when you retire. But if it happens, it happens. So be it. How much more longer are you gonna have once you stop working? When I say stop working, it's because you cannot work no more. I mean, that's your age won't let you. Although there's some ways, something you can do. I mean, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, no one's gonna hire someone in the 70s, um, and so on and so forth. But so um, what I was going with this, so how much more longer are you gonna have to enjoy that nest egg? That's when you retire and you go over the world, do everything you ever wanted to do. Yeah, with what energy and what health? See, that's the part of the financial advisor won't tell you. Otherwise, they won't be able to sell that annuity or whatever it is that they're selling. Now, of course, part of it is true. Actually, most of it, but it's true. I mean, yeah, that's what you want to retire perfectly and have fun. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. But the fact is that how much more longer are you going to have? Only God knows that. But I mean, statistically, 10 years, 20 max. And if you really stretch it, 30 after you're stop working. So I mean, and yeah, you can enjoy some of during that time, but if you think about it, you know, 10 years they just go like this. 20. I remember exactly what I was doing 20 years ago. 30, just like that. So and then that's it. I mean, so but of course, I mean, the Lord never promised that you are going to die when statistics say it. No, or they said that said the opposite. You should be prepared because you don't know. I mean, I go to as part of my mission, a new job, if you will. The Lord gave me. I go to the cemeteries to pray for the souls and everything, and I see it all the time, in the graveyards. I see so many people that never went past their 50s. So many of them. Probably more of most of them actually. At least in that cemetery that I go to. Um, and of course, I mean, I see also the ones that are past the 70s or 80s, what have you. But many of them, and some of them are even like toddler, or they only live like a couple of days or so. Um, So, but I mean, many in their 50s, 30s, 40s, many. So, no, I mean, don't be fooled by statistics. I mean, it could happen at any moment. So, the technique that I was talking about in that text, in that conversation, just came out of my mind, but it's something that I've like I said, thought before is that okay, whenever you feel too attracted, to the things of this world, wealth, retirement, all of that, the accumulated Nasdaq, and all the material things, and all and so forth. Uh, and you want to put uh, the unavoidable, inevitable, unavoidable reality of death, which is going to happen. It's around the corner for most. I mean, my generation, me and my brothers, it's just around the corner. Think about it. But many people, and I know because they have say so. I hear they don't want to hear it. Oh golly, did you dare to talk to them about that? Oh, la, 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 la. Oh, they hate it. Ostrich, ostrich, ostrich. Digging their head in the sand. They think that that's. I know it's coming, so what would I think about it? That's exactly the problem. That's exactly why. Because you're not preparing for it. So you don't have to think about it all the time. Leave that to me. That's my mission. Leave that to me and crazy folks like me. You don't have to. All you got to do is touch your face. See, if I'm going to do it right now, I need to take my $100 million glasses. Uh, See, touch, go around around this. See the entry. I forgot what it's called. That cavity. This right here, right above that part of the nose right here, and this. What do you feel? Touch it. What do you feel? I don't know about you, but here's what I feel. Death. Ouch. That's what I feel. That's what you feel right there. And I've been doing that ever since I was a kid. I had fun doing that. But of course, I mean, now I have a slightly different perspective, but all of that, you just trace your skull. It's as simple as that. Take a picture of a skull anywhere, and that's exactly, or have a doctor. I'm pretty sure you probably have already seen your skull somewhere in a scan or whatever, or CAT, whatever they call it. Anyway, and or X-ray. In the old days, it was X-ray. All right. So anyway, bottom line is you can feel it. You don't even have to see that. You can feel it right there, and picture in your mind. What is behind all of this skin? The skull. And that's exactly what's waiting on all of us. You can run, but you can't hide. And what is what does separate the skull from what people see on the outside? Skin, cartilage. That's it. The thing that in a fire, God forbid, but then again, it happens. In a fire that could be wiped out in just seconds, not just minutes, seconds. I mean, don't do the experiment, because then you won't be able to come back. But I mean, if you burn your flesh, it's gone in no time. Remember, our body is 80% of water, but I mean, it's it vaporizes with fire, and then whatever is left is just burned flesh, which eventually, I mean, soon it gets wiped out anyway. And if the fire lasts long enough, there's nothing left, man, at all, except for your bones. And sometimes not even that. If fire is strong enough, even your bones will be dust, dust to dust. And what was the other one? I forgot the other one. So that's where we're heading, my friend. That's it. So every time you feel tempted to think that this is going to be forever, go like this. Go like this. Feel it. You're going to die one day. Be prepared. Because after all, the good news is that you die in the flesh, but your soul goes forever. It's like love. It's infinite. Love of God, infinite. Your soul goes forever. Where does it go? It's up to you. Obey Him, love Him, and then it will go well for you, to the point that eventually this flesh is coming back, by the way. I don't know, because He says so. But that would be the very, very last chapter of the history of the world. For now, all you got to do is believe and trust Him. And if you have any doubt, touch your face. Feel it. God bless you.